The jobs report, 266,000 new jobs in April. That was a huge miss. The analysts were predicting over 1 million new jobs. Labour Secretary Marty Walsh joins us now. Mr. Secretary, first of all, thank you very much for being with us on Fox Business this morning. We do appreciate it, sir. Can you explain to our viewers this incredible miss? It wasn't 1 million, it was 266,000. Can you explain it?
Well, first of all, I didn't predict 1 million jobs, which I think I'm grateful for that. Under normal circumstances, 266,000 jobs added to our economy would be a great number. Unfortunately, we're not living in normal times. When you look at where we're headed in this country, we're headed in the right direction. The last 3 months, if you average the last 3 months, we've added 500,000 jobs per month, over 1.5 million jobs added in our economy the last 3 months, compared to the previous 3 where we added about 60,000 per month. But we still have ways to go. There's no question about it. The numbers today show that. There were some bright sides in this report as well. It showed that more people looked for work in the month of April than the previous months. And we saw the area of hospitality, which has been hit really hard during the pandemic. Hospitality and leisure, which includes restaurants, have the biggest gain. So there's some real bright spots as we move forward here.
If people are staying home because they're making more money by staying at home, perhaps you might want to consider not paying them these emergency payments. If they're staying home because the parents have to take care of the kids because the schools are closed, maybe start to open up the schools. If employers are unwilling to bring people back because of liability, maybe we should do something about liability. What do you say, Mr. Secretary?
Well, I don't agree with the first any of those points. I think that people aren't coming back to work because their job isn't there. It has nothing to do, in my opinion, or very little to do with unemployment insurance. Unemployment insurance.
There are 7 million jobs going to begging. Mr. Secretary, there are 7 million, almost 7 million, unfilled jobs in this country as we speak.
So I guess if I went with that assumption, I would assume that 9 million Americans have decided not to go to work because they're collecting unemployment insurance, which I don't think is the case. I think most people want to be back at work. They want to get their career. Unemployment insurance is a temporary fix. We did 2 plans here in this country. One was the CARES plan, back a few months ago when the pandemic first hit, and the rescue plan, which is more recently. We're still living in the midst of a pandemic. We do have issues around childcare in this country where childcare facilities still aren't open and there's not good, strong childcare available right now. President made a $30 billion investment in that about 3 weeks ago to get those facilities open. Many of our schools are open in this country. I think they're also actually open. Some are hybrid, some are in-person learning. And I think, again, the pandemic is very much with us. People are concerned about it. And on the liability front, we could talk for 2 hours about that, I suppose, on the liability side. But, you know, we're still dealing with a global pandemic. And, you know, your news here and the ones I've been on all day, you report worldwide news, and you go across this globe, and every country is still dealing in the midst of a pandemic.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce is just calling to end the $300 weekly supplemental unemployment benefits to address not going back to work. They want to end those payments. Are they totally wrong?
No, listen, I think we'd love to see unemployment insurance not being used at all. I certainly would love to see that. I would love to get every American eligible to go to work that wants to go to work into a job today. I think what's happened is that the economy shut down quickly in March of last year, and we've been opening and reopening slowly. We've been dealing with the pandemic, and I still think, you know, in the coming months, we're going to see more and more Americans go back to work, and hopefully we're going to see our unemployment numbers continue to come down. And we also have to specifically look at certain industries like communities of color. The black unemployment rate is 9.7%. 2 million women have been pushed out of the workforce. Some did come back last month, but we still have lots of work to do in these different areas. And rather, you know, we need to work with the Chamber of Commerce. I need to work with the Chamber of Commerce. We need to work with the Mass Roundtable. We need to work to make sure that we continue to push to get people back into the workforce and that jobs are available for people.
There is some speculation that there's something wrong with the numbers, the preparation of the numbers, to account for such a huge miss. Do you know anything about that at all?
No, you know, I got briefed just like you do a little while ago. I got briefed about 45 minutes ago. So we looked at the numbers. We're looking in different areas, and I'm sure as the day unfolds, there'll be some clarity behind maybe what you're talking about. Some of the concern people have, and you know, again, these numbers will be dissected for the rest of the day. So hopefully we'll be able to get a better understanding of what's really happening in across the different economic business areas.
Mr. Secretary, I just want to thank you very much for being on the program today. I understand this is a very big day. It's, you're as busy as the day is long. We understand that, but thanks for being with us this morning. Marty Walsh, thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.